So Mike Pence has officially dropped out. He has dropped out of the Republican presidential primary. Look, I have to say, I am a little surprised by this, at least in the sense that he's dropping out before, like, Tim Scott dropped out. Like, there's a number of candidates who I would have guessed would have dropped out before Mike Pence, because Pence was polling solidly in, like, third place or fourth place, and as we all know, there's 312 Republicans running. Now, by the way, I should also point out Larry Elder dropped out, and so did this guy Perry Johnson. Don't worry, nobody knows who Perry Johnson is, even Perry Johnson's family. But those two dropped out, and Pence he's looking for the exit. So let's see what he said. He announced this the other day. This is from C-SPAN.
Last June, I announced my intention to seek the Republican nomination for President of the United States because I believe this country is in a lot of trouble. I was raised to believe that to whom much is given, much will be required. And with everything our country is facing, I just couldn't sit this one out. But the Bible tells us that there's a time for every purpose under heaven.
God, he's such a smarmy politician. Like, just the way he talks is so fake. Everything about him is so fake. And it's like, gee, I wonder why you lost. Maybe because you're incredibly fake and inauthentic and a standard politician. And also, we're 32 seconds into this clip, and he already cited the Bible. Maybe that's part of the problem, Mike.
Across the country over the past 6 months, I came here to say it's become clear to me. This is not my time. So after much prayer and deliberation, I have decided to suspend my campaign for president effective today. Now, I'm leaving this campaign, but let me promise you, I will never leave the fight for conservative values, and I will never stop fighting to elect principled Republican leaders to every office in the land. So help me God.
So help me God. Jesus Christ, dude. All right, he does like the fake dramatic pause for the applause and stuff. Anyway, look, I'm bringing this up to you because I feel obligated to bring it up to you because we're a news show and we've covered stuff about his campaign before. But I got to be honest with you, I don't care, and nobody cares. Like, I guarantee you, this video of all the videos from today's show on YouTube will get the worst numbers or close to the worst numbers because nobody cares. Nobody cares. So the interesting part of the conversation is this. Where will his 5% to 7% go? Where will it go? Is he going to come out and endorse Nikki Haley, who is probably closest to him ideologically? Pence is a very establishment Republican. Haley's a very establishment Republican. Pence is a massive neocon. Haley's a massive neocon. Pence is critical of Trump for trying to coup the United States, and also he was fine with people chanting, "Hang Mike Pence." And Nikki Haley was one of the first establishment Republicans to have some line of argument against Trump. I think she focused mostly on, like, the debt. But there were certain anti-Trump arguments coming from Nikki Haley before many of the other politicians. So is he going to endorse her? Honestly, she is my first guess. If I had to pick somebody Pence would endorse, it's probably Nikki Haley. She made the most noise of the other establishment Republicans. Like, Tim Scott hasn't made as much noise as Nikki Haley has. So I think she's the most likely. I think the second most likely would be DeSantis. Now, the issue with DeSantis is Pence has made this big thing about, hey, we need to stay true to conservatism and not fall for populism. This is his argument, and he views Trump as a populist. I think Pence views Ron DeSantis as like a semi-populist, and so he's just not as in alignment with his philosophy as Nikki Haley is in alignment with his philosophy. However, having said that, Pence, I think, is also pragmatic enough to realize maybe at this late date, the only one who has any chance of taking down Trump is still DeSantis because he's still polling in second relatively comfortably, right? So which direction is he going to go? I don't know. I think it's either going to be Haley or DeSantis. It's possible he just totally stays out and just lets it unfold. But then the other question is, too, if/when Trump gets the nomination, is Pence gonna endorse him again? Because you have all these Republicans who can be critical of him and say, I'm against all these things, but then they always cuck themselves and bend the knee and embarrass themselves. So what will happen? I do not know what will happen. But look, he's out of the race. I'm surprised he dropped before people like Tim Scott. He's dropping before people like Chris Christie, right? Shocked by that, but let's be honest, I don't care. And none of you really care. And there's probably very few of you even watching this video. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.